calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Well, here we are. We've made it to the Bad Batch Season 2 finale, and who knew? This is the Wars and More. I'm Joe. Of course, with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
I'm doing okay. Who knew what?
Who knew it was the finale?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't.
But we did.
We did. Yes. And
We
forgot.
did at the beginning of the season when we laid out the whole schedule.
Exactly. We didn't.
But for some reason, we lost track of that.
Yes, we didn't listen to ourselves. That was that was a problem.
Last week, we're like, yeah, we got 2 more weeks. Wrong.
Yep. Because I remember when we talked about it prior to the season starting. It's like, oh yeah, we got these 3 spots in the season where there's 2 episodes. Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. Oops.
Fail. Now, the blame here doesn't fall entirely on us.
No?
Yeah, I mean, I follow Star Wars Twitter, all that stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. They didn't tell me it was finale weekend. Or week.
Well,
There's no notice.
I don't know, man. Maybe they were relying on us.
Big mistake.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Don't do that. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. We're just here to talk about it. We don't know Jack.
Yes.
I feel like we know our Star Wars lore a little bit. Sometimes.
Oh. Okay. I'm outing myself, and I'm telling a quick little aside story here.
Yeah.
Because this happened to me today. A coworker asked me, "Who's the guy who was inside R2-D2?" And I was like, I opened my mouth to say it, and I was like,
And you didn't say Kenny Baker?
I didn't. I walked back to my area, and I was like, I couldn't work until Kenny Baker's name popped into my head. I was like, oh my God. I feel better.
It happened.
Oh
It happened.
my gosh.
You're put on the spot.
It's like, I know who that is, and he goes, yeah, this person I was talking to goes, it's the same guy who plays Wicket the Ewok, right? And I'm like, no, that's Warwick Davis. I know that. That's what's better with me. But yes, I couldn't believe I forgot Kenny Baker's name in the moment.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Someone there knew Wicket?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I find that to be shocking.
Why?
So I've talked to plenty of people in this place. They knew Wicket?
Yeah. Yeah. Astounding, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And just so we don't name drop, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I'm
Anyway.
going to go call them out. Like, wait, you knew Wicket, but you didn't know Kenny Baker?
Right. Well, that doesn't surprise me, but
Yeah. Well,
what surprised me was that
is,
I couldn't
the difference is they say R2-D2, right, in the story.
Right.
How many times do they say Wicket?
Wicked. I know. That's funny.
Oh, wait. 0.
Right.
So you had to see this credited somewhere or something like that, or explained somewhere, and you didn't see Kenny Baker? Just saying.
Yeah.
You did additional research to know that Ewok's name.
Maybe. You might have some doubts. I'm just saying. Anyway. Moving on. That was my Star Wars fail of the day. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little disappointed. But it happens to the best of us.
Okay, I'm not the best of us.
No, I just said it happens to the best of us.
I know, and I'm not the best of us.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, same. It's funny, though. You get put on a spot, and it's just...
Yeah, which is exactly...
It's something you know. You know this.
Yes.
And yeah, it's kind of debilitating.
Exactly.
I can't think about anything else.
Right.
Like, you just screwed me up.
I had to walk back to my area, and it was the only thing my brain was processing for about the next 4 minutes. And it was like, oh yeah, Kenny Baker. Why didn't I know that immediately? That was horrible. Yeah. I need some vitamin B12 or something.
B12.
Something.
Oh. But yeah. So yeah, the season finale is here. 2-episode drop.
Right.
So we are talking season 2, episode 15, The Summit, and episode 16, Plan 99. And I think our conversation is just going to combine these two like it was one episode, because it played like one episode.
It certainly did. Yes. Once we realized there was 2 episodes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And once they hit, and like I started the second one, I'm like, oh, I see why they did this.
Right.
Because if I would have had to wait a week for oh man, I'd been pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're stopping there?
Yeah.
Like, there are acceptable cliffhangers, and there's that.
Well, yeah. They were hanging there all right.
Oh, yeah.
On the train.
Quite literally.
Yes.
Quite literally. So, we got the summit.
Yes.
We had a discussion about the summit. Who was going to be there.
Right. And what I liked about this little summit thing is apparently Tarkin likes having these little roundtable events, because watching this go down was like, okay, this is Tarkin's thing. He likes calling these little meetings to find, okay, what's going on in this sector? What's going on with this division? Blah, blah, blah. He's like gathering up all the information to, he's like a boss, right? Mm-hmm. And we saw him basically heading up the same sort of thing on the Death Star. It was like,
right.
Okay, we've seen this before.
All right, I have a question.
Okay.
You have this round table set up.
Yeah.
Everybody shows up.
Yeah.
And there is a noticeably empty chair.
Didn't even pay attention. Like after Hemlock got there?
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately to the left of Hemlock.
Oh, yeah. Vader's chair?
Is that Vader's chair?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to bring up our Mandalorian discussions a little bit along the way in what I'm about to say here.
Okay.
Because I kind of doubted you on a character showing up in The Mandalorian.
Okay.
But the way they presented this round table with an empty chair, saying everyone's here, they keep saying everyone's here.
Yeah.
Like, it's mentioned more than once. But there's an empty chair. And it's like right in the fort. Like, it's in front of Tarkin. Like, he's talking and saying this, and there's an empty chair there. This bugged me.
Really?
And it could be nothing.
I was going to say, I didn't even notice that, to be honest about it.
Okay, well, apparently I'm weird.
I mean, it is something to take note of that I didn't. But
yeah, like, I am sitting there, I'm like, okay, everyone's here. Why the hell is there an empty chair?
Well, I mean, he's got a table that's that size, and he only needed...
They don't do this in Star Wars.
Oh, that's funny. I understand what
they
you're saying.
They went through the effort of drawing an extra chair.
Right.
And it's not like it's just an extra chair or 2 extra chairs or Like, there's no balance to this. It's like the scene is unbalanced because there's only one open seat. You throw another one on the other side, or there's four, leave this balance. I don't think nothing of this. But there's one.
Okay.
And think of who you have there.
Yeah.
You're talking about these programs that are existing.
Right.
Stardust.
Yes.
Hemlock's program.
Yes.
What other programs going on at the same time?
Okay. Remind me.
The TIE Defender program.
Oh, you're thinking it's... Interesting. Okay.
So I'm sitting there going, wow, they're using the Bad Batch to go ahead and cliffhanger the fact that Thrawn's coming back. They are they are hanging Thrawn over everything.
I see what you're saying. Very well could be.
In this part of the timeline, TIE Defender program's going big.
Why wouldn't he be there then?
Why wouldn't he be there then? That's exactly what I was thinking. And why is there one empty chair? And noted all the time in, Star Wars novels and things like that, the Empire's distaste for aliens.
Right.
Everyone's here. Okay, good. Except for the alien.
Right.
Who gives a damn?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's Thrawn's chair.
It's funny though, because this is pre-Rebels.
Yes.
By a few years.
Yes.
So, yeah, what would Thrawn be up to? Weird. I don't know.
No, not by a few years. Well, I guess
by 4 or 5, something like that. Yeah, because that's when Rebels was taking place, like 4 or 5 years after.
After this point.
Yes, pretty much after this. Yeah, because this is immediately following Order 66 and all that.
Oh, wait, so it's more than that. It's like 15 years.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Rebels was like 4 or 5 right before Battle of Yavin, right?
Yeah, so never mind. TIE Defender Project's probably not going yet. Oh,
Right.
no, it had to have been.
Huh?
It had to have been.
15 years? It's a long
Yeah,
project.
you think development of a fighter and deployment and all that stuff happens overnight?
Look, not every government does stuff like ours. I'm just saying this.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Anyway,
you got to think, like, it was at least proposed well before.
sure. I it could be anything, though. I mean,
You have a full-on facility that's built. Yeah, you got time. I'm still sticking by my guns.
yeah, that's fine.
This is a Thrawn nod.
It's Thrawn. So it's Thrawn or Vader. But I don't see why.
I don't see why Vader would have
Tarkin-
just like a random seat on the corner of the table off to the left.
I mean, especially this. I don't know that there's any designated seat for anybody in particular, because this is like Tarkin's home base. This is Tarkin's home world that they're on. So, I mean, it's probably just whoever he invites, probably has a summit every other week, just with different people.
It could be. But there's one chair.
That really bugs you, doesn't it?
It does, man. It was so off bent, like it just stuck out to me.
I did not notice.
Man, I'm weird. I'm weird. And it could be because of how dismissive I was of your Thrawn comments a couple weeks ago.
Gotcha.
It could be that. Like, I saw that, and I'm just like, man, I feel like they're just setting this up across all platforms. Like, because Thrawn in live action is going to be a big deal.
Oh, there's no doubt.
They know it. We know it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they use every available platform to tease this?
I don't see why they wouldn't, but I'm not sure that an empty chair is a tease. That's
I think it is for psychopaths like me.
okay.
Apparently, I'm coming to no other conclusion. You didn't notice the empty chair.
Okay.
The only empty chair.
That is funny. The absence of somebody sitting in that chair means Thrawn's here.
No. Like, let's think about this. Like, on the Death Star, right? When they have a meeting on the Death Star, there's empty chairs.
Uh-huh.
Right? In A New Hope, there's empty chairs.
Uh-huh.
But there's a bunch of them.
This is a smaller summit table.
But there's one. So weird.
Okay.
So weird. Like, that you just invite just enough to not fill all the chairs. Like, I wouldn't be able to put forth a meeting and say, yeah, we're just going to have one empty chair.
Oh.
I'd have been like, look, I got room for one more guy.
I'd be okay with it. I'm just saying.
I'd fill it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like, it's just one. It seems dumb.
Hey, Stormtrooper, sit here.
Like, it's not like we're leaving space for COVID. It's
right.
One.
Yeah. Oh boy. You know who they don't have a problem with putting on screen? Saw Gerrera. Just saying.
No, Saw Gerrera is like Saw Gerrera's trying to become the new Ahsoka.
Right. He's gonna be on every show.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool. We saw Saw. He was he had his plan going on, ironically, at the exact same time as the Bad Batch trying to execute their plan. But they're trying to put a homing beacon on Hemlock's ship so they can find out where Crosshair's at. So they need him to be able to get out of there, whereas Saw is trying to like take down these high level individuals all in one shot because they're meeting. And I don't know. If it were me, and I was a high level Imperial, I'd be paranoid with all the attempts on my life going on.
I'll say this: I have a little bit of an issue with Saw's immediate desire to attack the Empire hierarchy.
Okay.
Like, I'm not catching what is his motivations. I understand his desire for, revenge about his sister and the war and things like that.
Right.
But why is the Empire the main target so quickly? You know what I mean?
As opposed to the Separatists and all that, you mean?
Correct.
Yeah. That is something that could use a little splaining, that's for sure.
You said splaining.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, that one, like, I saw that and I was like, wow, that was pretty fast. And we've seen Saw once before in this series, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they acted like they were familiar with each other, for sure.
Yeah, and even then I'm like, man, this rebellion, it formed really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the simple explanation is going to be, I guess, Bail Organa?
Maybe.
Because he would have seen how this all played out, and it would be the spread of his word.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
But
But
yeah, I just saw his involvement. And I was like, this feels a little awkward here.
right.
Like, he's sounding like he's had to deal with Empire oppression for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hasn't really been an empire that long. And I will say they did a decent job of showing, Saw's reckless nature. They've talked about it. Okay, here's a good example of it. He didn't really care what the Bad Batch's plan was. He was going to execute his, and that was that. So, okay. I guess that's it was a good vehicle to have the Bad Batch's plan go right down the drain. Because that's what ends up happening. I mean, if the Bad Batch was there by themselves, they probably could have got in, got the homing beacon on, snuck out, and no one would have ever been the wiser. But yeah, everything went chaotic.
Yeah, seems to be Saw's MO.
Right.
Well, I guess it makes sense why everybody else was like, he's a radical.
That's kind of fallen in place there. That's it makes
I guess
sense.
the issue here, though, is it makes Saw seem like he's not about the rebellion. He's not about fighting the Empire. He's about fighting this personal war.
I think a lot of it is personal with Saw. Like,
yeah, but it kind of hollows out the Empire being the reason.
Yeah. I think we've talked about the Saw before and came to the conclusion that Saw needs somebody to be fighting. Like,
agreed.
Yeah.
But his desire to just need someone to be fighting, it kind of hollows out the whole Empire thing. It's just he's looking for the next person to fight.
Yeah.
So.
And the rebellion will use that when it's useful, but then when it's not, they'll be like.
So I guess main
Saw
point
kinda
is
sucks.
it's a good thing for the New Republic that Saw died.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he'd have just been fighting them.
Yes. I have a feeling he would have been. Yes.
Okay, that makes it all better.
I think he would have been because.
And I know that probably sounded kind of sarcastic, but it's not sarcastic. I think that does actually make it all better.
Okay.
And thinking about it that way, because if we look at it as, he would have just ended up shifting to the New Republic because they're just the same to him.
Yes.
He's just kind of.
I think something would have happened and, he would have tried to whatever, get some sort of satisfaction of some kind from the New Republic, and the New Republic would have been like, hey, look, man.
Right. He would have made a connection and he'd have just been like, this is phase 3 of the plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I like that. I think it's still a little on the hollow side to completely use the character the way they do, but
well, I mean, like I said, it was a good vehicle to get the chaos out of the storyline that they needed. So
yeah, and I think that's the only way to explain his early involvement. Like, to be this early in the involvement against the war, or in a war against the Empire, that is kind of the only way that makes sense.
Right.
That he's just going to fight the next group.
Yep.
And it's all about, he's just vengeful about his sister.
Whoever the seat of power is, that's his enemy.
Yeah. And it's their fault.
Yeah. And in some ways,
he's right.
He's not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's not wrong. Which we kind of get that kind of laid out for us in the Mandalorian, but we'll get there.
And that, I didn't want to cross over shows, so yes,
good.
That's but I was thinking the same thing. So we seem to have a problem with trains here, don't we?
Yeah, trains never go well in Star Wars.
No,
probably because every single one of them's hung over a chasm.
Yeah. Yes. I don't get it. It's like, what's so important on that mountain on the other side of the chasm there that you need to get over there? I don't get it. It's couldn't you just fly a ship over there?
Well, yeah, especially since the hangar bay is right where, like, it would have made more sense if the hangar bay was over there and you had to take a train over to the other side because security.
Yeah.
But no, there's a train and then there's the hangar bay. The train apparently was only there to help people sneaking in.
Exactly.
But either way, this is the point where you're headed right here, where this show pisses me off.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, not because it was bad.
Okay.
But because they killed Tech.
Oh. Yeah. Well, it appears as though Tech killed Tech, but you know
what I mean.
I do.
He's like, oh, Tech killed. It wasn't the writers. Don't blame the writers. It was Tech.
I got a feeling. Well, I shouldn't say I got a feeling. This show clearly went to a dark place, and with everything that happened there with Tech, it makes the betrayal. We knew this betrayal was coming from Sid. It makes it all the worse.
Yes.
So
it did. And I'll tell you what, Dave Filoni has got a real habit for hitting me right in the feels.
Uh-huh.
Because it happened, like, Tech did that. He's like, Plan 99. And then he does that. I'm like, well, Plan 99 sucks.
Right.
And then we get back to Sid, and Wrecker is turning it down a drink, saying that's not going to help.
Right.
And then he's like, wait, what did you do? Like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
All that hits. And I'm like, wow, really? We're going here right now? Like,
yep.
We just lost Tech and now you're getting betrayed.
Not only did we just lose Tech, but Wrecker, Hunter, and Omega are all battered and bruised and, recovering from injuries. And they're betrayed as well. Yes. By Sid, which they knew was coming. I'm
with you there. I was like, really? You went to Sid?
I know. As soon as he said go to Ord Mantell, I'm like, no, don't go there. There's got to be somebody on Pabu who can help too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's a weird way to say Pabu.
Right.
Oh. And then they get here and they're like, oh, we're thinking we should go to Pabu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Duh.
No more soldiering for us.
Yeah,
good idea.
Thought of that about about
an hour ago. Yeah.
an hour ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
That was frustrating.
But it was a good way to double down on the fact you just nailed me in the feels again.
Yes.
Damn you, Dave. It's managed to pull it off in every show.
Right.
And like the tech thing, like the second he was dangling there, I was like, I know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know it's coming. And they're dragging the scene out. I'm like, oh no, not tech.
Uh-huh.
And then it happens. I'm like, not tech. And it hits you even harder because tech is the one that always was, like, it's for the mission, right? Like it's, when Echo left, the way he explains it.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Like,
well,
we adapt.
Okay. We had to know this was coming, right? I mean, they foreshadowed this like a mile down the road here for us with the whole, they're getting ready to go on this secret mission, and Fee comes up and is like, saying, hey, make sure you come back now, or, whatever she was saying. It's like,
I did the same thing. Like, it's like that scene happened. I'm like, wow, that was weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh crap, Tech's gonna die.
Right. Exactly.
It's like it's coming.
Yeah.
And it was the same in Rebels, right?
Totally.
Like the way they led up to Kanan's death.
Yes.
You knew it was coming.
Well, that one I think was foreshadowed even more, like way more. Yes.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yes.
But and yeah, I mean the episode title.
Which title?
Oh, when Kanan dies?
Uh-huh.
It was what was it?
It's not like a song title called what is it? Death of a Jedi or something?
No, it was something along those lines.
Okay.
But, I'll get back to you on that. Continue.
No problem. So the, what's his name? Hemlock. He's got Omega, right? Takes Omega back to the cloning facility, and this interaction between Omega and Nala Se was like really odd. Like I almost feel like even Hemlock was expecting to see like Omega run up and hug Nala Se, and Nala Se be like, oh, you're safe, you're here. There was none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like this trump card that Hemlock thought he had on Nala Se to get her to do the work the Emperor wants done isn't going to work now.
Right.
So it's kind of strange, but he's just getting started, quote unquote. But just interesting how that played out, and I got a feeling it didn't play out exactly the way Hemlock thought it was gonna.
Well, it's funny because the first thing I thought about there, what the Emperor wants isn't going to work, right?
That's what Nala Se said.
Yes. I instantly thought, oh God. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
I'll go for it.
Of Darth Plagueis. when it was assured in that novel, it was assured to Plagueis that a forceful being cloned was not possible.
Right.
So instantly when Nalase says what the Emperor wants is not possible, like I thought of that right away.
Okay, right.
Like bang, okay, they're hitting on that. It's not something that I can think of in canon that's been brought up, which is the cloning of a forceful being.
Right.
So naturally, my mind goes right to, hey, what have we gotten? Like, what in canon is not possible for cloning? Okay, I've seen nothing. What outside of canon is not possible? Bang. Darth Plagueis cloning a forceful being. Like, yeah, I just.
Gotcha.
It's.
See, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with this. Nalase said, what the Emperor wants is not going to work. And then I thought you were going to say, see episode 9. But, that's...
Oh, well, there's that.
That was a joke, but okay.
Yeah. No, but where I was going with that is we're getting these hints that it's not going to work. Talking about cloning.
Yep.
The only reference we have to this is outside of the current canon. Like, we don't have any other cloning references. Just what did work. There hasn't been, like, I guess it comes down mostly to the fact we still have no idea who the hell this Dr. Hemlock guy is, what he's working on.
Yes.
Why it's super secret or whatever they call it, advanced cloning or
right.
What did they call it?
Oh, it's something like that.
Advanced science, right?
Something, yes.
So we have no idea what that means.
I will say though,
so it just gets the mind wandering.
The one thing I did note from the summit, him sitting at the table, is when Tarkin starts talking about whatever, his budget or whatever, and Hemlock's like, the Emperor wants this. Like, he's had direct conversations with the Emperor, That's the way it felt to me. So it's like, whatever progress I'm making, where I'm at right now, doesn't really matter because the Emperor wants this. So,
Right. And I mean, it goes further than, like, where our mind jumps. It goes further than just Plagueis, right? I think of the Dark Empire comics, right? And there was the Thrawn trilogy.
Right. Yeah.
All of these had cloning programs.
Yes.
That were developed for the and even going back to Plagueis, Plagueis was all about extending his life.
Yes.
So it makes sense that his apprentice would also be kind of focused on extending his life. So Palpatine's goal was living forever.
Right.
His idea of doing that was to use clones in all these different portions of the EU.
Yeah.
They're pulling.
Yep.
They're obviously pulling from that.
Clearly.
We're going to get a different version of all that.
Yes.
But that idea is being pulled. And it's obvious because episode 9, right?
Exactly. Yes. So
yeah.
And
I did come up with the episode title of the Rebels episode we were talking about.
Okay.
with Kanan, saying it was an obvious episode title.
Uh-huh.
It was Jedi Knight, but Knight spelled Nighc.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So that one was a dead giveaway.
Right. Okay, so last thing, I guess, is what do you make of Omega's sister?
I don't know.
Right. It's got to go somewhere. They just kind of like toss that out there, and it's like, oh, okay. So clearly Omega's not.
First off, kudos on the Clark Kent move.
Right. Yeah, true.
Like, mad kudos on the Clark Kent move. Because it worked.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, I guess glasses do work.
Yeah. But
she picked them up. I'm like, hey, she looks just like Omega. Holy crap.
Yeah, an older Omega. But so here we have another clone. But working for the Empire, and you know, did she work with Nala Se before? I mean, or you know, that's what, you know, there's so many questions now that need to be answered about this clone, you know, and is Omega going to allow her to get close and bring her in the fold to work with the Empire? You know,
yes.
I got that feeling too. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm gonna make some people mad with this.
Go ahead.
Because Omega hasn't learned jack
Right.
about survival, about any, like,
But
Omega
it's my
is
sister.
100% run by emotion.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
And that move, that was a master play.
Right.
Like, Omega's on board. Like, it's...
Yeah. I got a feeling it's going to go the same way. The whole...
Either that or all the training is going to finally click right now, because it's like, holy crap, like, this is what they've been training me for, is this moment.
Yeah. Good luck there. I don't see that happening yet, but
I'm like, wow, really?
Yep.
I mean, I guess that makes all the other stuff make sense. Like, wow, why is this portion just not sinking in? To watch out for all this kind of stuff.
Well, be weird though. I mean, you know, from the beginning of this show, we've talked about how there's got to be something to this character of Omega. You know, there's something about her, right? Maybe we're gonna start.
She's the end of it.
Yeah. Omega, the end. Yes.
The end
Of the clones, for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you got to get out of here. All right. Nah, I can't leave them.
Yeah, I know.
And then, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna attack them. There's Walker over there. Like,
I know.
Okay, so you had 0 battlefield analysis.
Yeah, that was not good.
So bad. Yeah, not impressed with Omega.
Right. We'll see what she does next season.
Yeah. Nope, they're definitely sticking with the name. It's the end.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else stick out in all?
I think we've covered just about everything we need to for the Bad Batch. I'm sure there's going to be stuff that comes back up, bubbles back up to the top for us, as time goes on. We talk about other things and it, things weave together, these plot lines and everything. But for the time being, I think we're good.
All right. So The Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
So we're talking season 3, episode 5, chapter. Is this 20? 21?
21, I believe.
Okay, 21. The Pirate.
Right.
Davy Jones.
Yeah. We knew this guy was going to come back and play a role in this somehow. So, and he did in a big way. It was good.
Is this guy made of kelp? Like, what?
I don't know what he's made out of. I don't know what species he is exactly, but speaking of species and stuff, oh man, I couldn't help it. His first mate there, the Ugnaught, Mr. Smee. I mean, did you not catch this?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
I was still hung up on the chair.
The chair?
Yeah, the empty chair.
Ah, gotcha. No, the Ugnaught, had the red bandana on the head.
Oh yeah.
The striped shirt.
His name was Smee?
The knife in the waistband. No, he looked exactly like Smee, but he was an Ugnaught. From Captain Hook. So. But yeah, it was like, that is definitely Mr. Smee. Ugnaught.
Yeah, I thought you said his name was Smee. I'm like,
oh, no,
are you kidding me?
No. No, just saying. It was like, it's clearly a nod to Mr. Smee. You call that guy Davy Jones? His first mate was definitely Smee.
Yeah, I'll say this. It's obvious that, there's been pirates in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But Disney got Star Wars and they're like, oh, we know how to do pirates.
Exactly. They're like, we've had these movies and we've had a ride long before that. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, some of this was like, it was like a little ridiculous, but at the same time, it was really good.
Yeah.
So like, I can forgive the ridiculousness a little bit because they did so well with it.
Yeah.
But, oh man, this guy with the leg and the helm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The
big
wheel.
Helm.
The big wheel. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Come on. I'm sorry. That was just dumb.
Hey, he's a pirate. He's got to have a big wheel.
Dude. That was total Disney. Yeah.
Disneyfication?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But overall, this episode was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
It's funny because last week I talked about how much I love that episode.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then I get on the internet and I see how lukewarm people are with that episode. I'm like,
really?
I don't know where I am in my Star Wars fandom anymore.
Huh.
Because I really love that one. And everybody's like, it was serviceable. I'm like, serviceable? We had Mandalorians and jetpacks fighting shit. Like,
right.
We're just serviceable right now? Every single moment had a tie to some, like, there were just threads upon threads.
Right.
And it was serviceable. So, like, this week I tried to be super critical. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I still don't see it. I'm waiting to see where everybody else stands on this. Because if it's the same thing and I'm like super satisfied and everybody else is like super angry or super like, yeah, lukewarm, I'm gonna have to question my fandom.
Right. Exactly.
Like, where am I at?
Yeah. What's your
Because
problem,
I
Joe?
thought this was spectacular.
It was an awesome episode. There's no doubt. I mean, brought in a lot of elements that we love this show for. I mean, Navarro, that is like, it's home for the Mandalorian, basically, especially now, right? But we started off there, kind of, it's
right. There's that, but like, I have made a particular gripe throughout the entirety of this series.
Yeah.
It's called The Mandalorian.
Yep.
I want to hear about The Mandalorian.
Okay, here's my problem, Joe. It's not called The Mandalorians.
Yeah, but you know what? His story is interconnected with their story. So as his evolves and the other Mandalorian stories weave in, it all jives for me.
Cool. I just said it as a joke.
I know, but like, I'm just saying, like, this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I expected when I see the title The Mandalorian. So yeah, I'm super happy that we're doing this now.
Cool. It was good.
Took to portion through season 3, but we're here.
Well, I mean, I would argue that there's been a lot of Mandalorian. Okay. Not 100%. It's had its moments where it's been sidetracking, focusing on other things. But I think it all culminates to this, So
yes. Hindsight is making that work a little bit, but at the same time, it was a lot of the Mandalorian just like feeding other stories, just kind of helping along. Eventually he'll get to his stuff. And I still feel that way. Like, he finally gets to focus on his stuff, on his people.
Okay.
He had to get the other stuff out of the way to help his people.
And sometimes that's, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes that's what it takes. I don't disagree. But yeah, it's what it is. I didn't hate the other stuff. It's not like I'm sitting here like, oh, that was terrible. I wish I never saw it.
Okay.
But I feel super satisfied as we're going through this season. Like, yes, we're finally here. We're finally getting the story I signed up for.
Cool. No, that's great. I think it was awesome. I don't know. It was an awesome episode.
I can finally stop having my friends tell me I hate Star Wars.
Well, let's not get too hasty here. I mean, so, yeah, there's still a few episodes left for you to hate on. So we kind of alluded to it earlier, but already we're seeing just how much of a bureaucracy has formed in the New Republic to where nothing gets done. Right? This, yeah. I'm loving seeing, right? We mentioned that Saw would probably be fighting against this, in prior episodes, how there's just, with what's his name? Scientist guy. Oh my gosh. Pershing, yes. That episode, there was this whole, levels of bureaucracy, and they're way behind on cataloging this and that and blah blah blah. Even in this episode, there's the droid putting the data tapes down on his desk. Don't put them there. You know, it's in our face just how
Kind of like how I deal with my boss.
unproductive it is, huh?
It's kind of like how I deal with my boss.
Oh yeah, don't put that there.
He's like,
Clunk.
don't put that there. I was like,
Yeah, sure. So what you're saying is you're the droid. Gotcha.
totally. Like, yeah, whatever, dude. I got a job to do. Here you go.
Yep. But I do love seeing that because, you know, that's reflected even further on in, you know, if only a little bit, you know, in the sequels. You know, there's clearly nothing but opulence and you know, until they're destroyed, Hosnian. But anyway,
Right. It definitely shows why Leia did what she did.
right. Yes. And that's the main point, right? Yes. Leia had to work outside of that system because that system was not focusing on the things that mattered. Yes. Yeah, thanks for bringing that around for me. Excellent.
Oh, I get there too fast?
No. That's exactly, that's the point, really. I mean, you know, why do you have a New Republic and a Resistance?
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Republic's not doing anything. You know, they even mentioned it in that other episode I brought up, the Persian episode. You know, the decommissioning of the Republic Navy. It's like, what? Why on earth would you do that? You know, yes, the Empire's gone, but not completely, you know.
Oh, yeah. What you don't want people to get the wrong idea.
Oh, I think it's going to happen anyway.
You know, like, obviously the old Republic had the right idea with no military. Because once they got a military, look what happened.
Right? No, they had peacekeepers. Yeah, the Jedi.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't have those no more.
But I mean, okay, so even this, there's this, for lack of a better word, this airfield, right? That we see bunch of pilots just in the lounge, you know. It's like they're taking it easy. It's like this.
Oh, where Teva is?
Yeah. So Carson, Teva is you know, he's there with all these other pilots, and you know, he gets this call from Grief Karga, and he's willing to help. He goes the extra mile to try and dredge up some help from the Republic. Doesn't work. He, you know, goes to the Mandos, right? That's the whole plot of the story. But it's like, even his part at the end, I just looked around. It kind of, this is my chair moment for you. But he's flying around in space, right? He's sublight, and they don't show him near a planet. They don't show him near anything distinguishable. He's just in the blackness of space. Ironically, he comes across this ship, you know, this Lambda shuttle, but it's like what is he patrolling? I'm just thinking about the vastness of space. And it's like, how can you reliably, like, find something out? You know, I don't know where he's at, but it's like, my gosh, you know, am I making any sense? It's almost like those guys are just there as, like, yeah, we got some guys patrolling. Don't worry, citizens. You know, it's almost like for show. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd say for him being there, he knew that this incident happened
Yeah,
in this classified file.
right.
He was searching for it
It's possible. That wouldn't surprise me one bit.
because he called them out
Oh, yeah, prior? Yeah.
prior. So I have a feeling he knew this classified information was there for the shuttle. He knew a roundabout area. He found what he was looking for.
So I'm speaking in more general terms, though. If they're just out patrolling, right? If they're patrolling a system, fine. I take your point. You know, he's looking in quote unquote the area, but I mean, only if he knows the space lane they might be taking. You know, I mean, just out patrolling the vastness of space just seemed kind of weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't think that's what's happening. He knew where he was going. Generally,
He's
trying to.
He seems to know where all the stuff is. You know,
Yeah,
the shuttle, the Mandalorians. Yeah,
I have a feeling he's a very early inductee into the Resistance.
yeah, could be.
Didn't take long.
No.
Didn't take long. But you talked about him. You talked about this base.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the cameo.
Ooh, I got you. Okay. Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, Rick Famuyiwa. Got him.
Oh,
At the bar.
yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What about Steve Blum
Yeah.
and
was-
Seb Aurelius?
That was really cool, I gotta say.
Holy crap, was that cool?
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's like, wow, so Zeb's a pilot for the Republic. Huh.
I'm just like, holy crap, Zeb got wise.
Wise?
Yeah, Zeb's just like throwing out advice.
Oh, yeah.
He's helping him through it. Like,
Yeah, well, he's been around the block. Yeah.
yeah, well, that's true.
He's seen some stuff, so
You see some stuff.
yeah.
But this was a fun one because I'm like, one, my initial viewing, I'm on a phone.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, man, he's got the look of Zeb. Sounds like Zeb. Color doesn't really match. Like, he looked rather blue to me. And then I see it on a screen. I'm like, oh, he's purple.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Zeb.
I'm glad it's Zeb because
I'm
they
so
made
glad it's.
such a huge point of there being so few Lasats in Rebels left. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That if all of a sudden, hey, look, here's another Lasat, yeah, it's like, okay. So basically you're showing us like a super rare occurrence, right? Because, you know, there's another Lasat and it's not Zeb. So
Right,
yeah.
and you have the whole episode where they all go to. They all pretty much leave civilization as we know it in Star Wars,
Right.
except for like one or two others.
Yeah.
No, it's like that's pretty cool,
Yeah, totally.
but also another move leading towards what you talked about, Thrawn.
Oh. Can't be.
I don't know. We got Zeb.
And a chair.
We got we got a chair. We got an empty chair.
The chair's
But-
what does it.
We've got Ahsoka. We've already been teased Sabine.
Well, Ahsoka asked for Thrawn.
She asked for Thrawn.
Right.
We got Sabine. Like, we know where we're headed.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting a reunion party for Rebels,
Oh, totally.
and that reunion is going to come with the return of not only Thrawn, but Ezra Bridger.
Oh, totally.
Like, we're headed there. We can't not be at this
Oh.
point.
Oh, we're heading there. That's for sure. And I gotta say, we speculated, I think, long ago that, you know, they're gonna have the Rebels crew, you know, you can do, you know, Twi'leks, you know, they already done Ahsoka herself, you know. We were a little concerned about how Zeb would look and if they would bring Zeb along. It's like, Zeb looked awesome. He needs to be on this show. You know?
Zeb looked awesome.
Yes. So,
And I guess we're heading down a path that we started in episode 9.
in episode 9.
When we got the ghost.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It was episode 9, right?
Yeah, Rogue One, too. I mean,
Yeah, Rogue One.
yeah.
But wasn't the ghost there in episode 9?
Yeah, it was in that big mass of ships. Yes.
Right. I know we got it in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Episode 9 was a surprising one. Rogue One's not surprising.
Right. But yeah. We are definitely, yeah, these are the strings that tie all of these shows together for sure. That's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
so how do you feel about this whole thing with Bo-Katan? Let's talk Mandalorian stuff since that's the show.
Crazy.
You know, we had the big battle, right?
Mhm. Fabulous, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. It's kind of hard to talk about with all that kind of stuff without, you know, just like, you know, great visuals, you know, awesome effects, blah, 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 you know, and people listening, blah, 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 right? But
Right.
it was awesome. The thing I think we can touch on a little more is the armorer tells Bo-Katan, take off your helmet.
Yeah.
She apprehensive. Kind of explains it to her, though. It's like, you've walked both ways of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, you're the bridge. Yeah.
Right. And tells Bo-Katan she's the one who can lead all of Mandalore. So do you think that was the armorer kind of like sitting on this, I saw a mythosaur statement, and like really contemplating it, and it's like, wow, she really saw one?
I don't know if it's really contemplation. More so, this is the right time to bring it up.
Okay.
Mainly because of her reaction and the way everything went. Like, a lot of people thought that was a dismissal when she said this is the way. Like, she's just saying, no, this is the way. You saw it. Yeah, I get it. You believe it was real.
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe for 1 second that she was dismissing Bo-Katan saying that I actually saw one. And I said that last week. Like,
right. No, I'm with you there. Now, that's what I'm getting at with the contemplation thing. Is like, you know, she first calls it a vision. Bo-Katan says, "No, I saw one." And, you know, she said, "This is the way." It's like, oh, Bo-Katan being here with us, this is almost like a destiny type thing, right? So, and after Bo-Katan proves herself again in battle, and as you put it to me earlier, a leader, it's kind of like the time. And the armorer telling Bo-Katan take her helmet off, parading her out in front of all the rest of the Mandalorians and explaining what she's thinking here. It's the armorer's way of saying, look, with us Mandalorians, there's got to be a little give and take. Here I am giving a little, you know, with the whole helmet deal.
Yeah, I think it's a culmination of everything, though.
Absolutely, but I mean,
you know, they're now able to live out in the open. They've got to play.
Yes,
you know, they've exposed themselves to the world or the galaxy.
Yep.
You know, you have one amongst your ranks that is claiming with conviction that they saw a mythosaur.
Right.
The most fabled creature in your history. Yeah. It all screams of good omens for your people.
Exactly. Which falls right in line with everything that the armorer has been teaching up to this point. Yet she still is pragmatic enough to understand that if we're going to bring all of the Mandalorians in together under one rule, we got to give a little. If we want
it's going to take those who walk the old way.
Yep.
Along with those who have adapted.
Exactly. And I like that. I like that we can work together kind of vibe, right?
Yeah, so. It's another one of those who's the leader here.
Right.
But it's at the same time it's the leader of one tribe deciding that someone from another tribe or that transcends your tribe realizing that is the one that could unify all tribes to be one strong body, right? Like,
yeah.
And that's what the armorer did here. You know, if we can get those who, you know, they're going to remove their helmet. They walk a new path.
Yep.
They don't follow the old way.
Right.
But our individual dogmas shouldn't stop us from being united and fighting for our home.
Exactly. And she can see that Bo-Katan is the way to achieve this. So.
And, you know, it seems quick because of, you know, we're only getting a couple episodes, but.
Right.
There's probably a decent amount of time that has passed here.
Right. We're getting snapshots.
Bo-Katan is like recommitted to the old way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a decent amount of time here.
Yes.
And she's not only recommitted to the old way, she's committed to these people. These are her people.
Right.
she feels an obligation to him. She's walking this path. She's doing this. She's all in.
Yep.
And all the armorer did was say, okay, yes, you proved now that you are all in with us.
Right.
Now be all in for all of us.
Yes, exactly. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, you're all in for us, and you weren't part of us before.
Right.
But now here you are all in for us. Yes, you can be all in for all of us. I love that. That's beautiful. That's exactly what I think they're going for here with this. It's awesome.
And not only that, like the beauty of it is they talked about Bo-Katan as a leader before.
Right.
And then we take what we do know. Right? You know, Sabine handed the Darksaber over.
Right.
You know, she took the mantle.
Right.
Wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Here in this show, we watched her working with Din Djarin and stuff, put her selfishness aside, her desire for her birthright aside, right? Because she was born to be a leader on Mandalore.
Right.
Her family, right?
Yep.
That all got pushed aside. Mandalore's gone. You got a newfound respect for your upbringing and your, the old ways and things like that.
Yep.
Went all in, helped other people from this group. And the whole time she's doing it, she's 100% all in, obviously.
Yep.
So yeah, it's time to, okay, now you can move beyond this. You learn the basics.
Right.
This is who we are from the start. Now you're ready to lead us from the start to the end. Like, now that you know the base of Mandalore, you can lead all Mandalorians. Like, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. I do too, because I think another way to put it is it's being able to understand this group of Mandalorians and that group of Mandalorians. You have an understanding of why they live the way they do, why they have these certain beliefs, and you're not going to dismiss it out of hand simply because it's different.
Right. I mean, it's,
as a leader, that's what you need, is somebody who understands all of your people. They do have differences, and you got to be able to accept each group of your people for who they are. And, it's kind of like, I don't know.
I'd say it's kind of like Rocky getting his ass kicked.
Okay.
And then finding out he had to go train in the woods and
okay. Gotcha.
Or train in the old gym, like all that stuff to come back and win. Like,
right.
It's that old
go back to your roots kind of
got to
thing.
get back to the basics.
Right.
Got to get back to the basics, and then you can go back to fighting as an elite fighter. Right. I went to Rocky because it was fighting, but that story's there in a lot of tales.
Yeah. It's a classic trope, that's for sure.
Yep. Classic trope, but executed well.
Yep, and effective, for sure.
And it has a lot of basis in reality, right? Like,
oh yeah, totally.
How many times in all our lives do we have faced with a problem and stuff, and you just take a step back, start from the beginning.
Yep. Go back to basics. Yep.
Go back to basics, start from the beginning, and then all of a sudden you figure it out. Like, it's the way it works.
Yep.
there's wisdom to this tale.
Yep, absolutely.
No, I like it, and I'm wondering how the Darksaber and Din fit into this. I like that is hanging over it.
Yeah. It will be interesting. Okay, so the Darksaber.
Yeah, I have things to say on this too, but
What?
all right, so
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know.
you said what? So
Yeah.
just based on things I've been reading and what other people have to say. What do you think of this? Din got defeated by this spidery monster on Mandalore.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And then Bo-Katan proceeded to defeat this monster.
Right.
Does that make Bo-Katan the rightful owner of the Darksaber? Because Din lost control and then she beat the one that took it?
I could see where you could go down that road, but
Yeah, I was reading that and I'm like,
yeah, but they didn't, you know.
Like, and I just immediately went to, like, how fair does the combat have to be to change hands?
I don't know.
Like, can you take the Darksaber by guile, right? Like, because this creature trapped him. It was straight up trickery. A trap.
Yeah.
Does that count?
I don't know.
Or does it have to be a challenged combat? So you're on an even playing field.
Well, I'm not sure. I have a feeling I don't think that is going to come back into play for this. Because I think the Darksaber is going to play into what we saw at the end of this show. Gideon never made it to his trial. There was Beskar found on the ship that he was supposed to be transported on. That was
right.
So I think the Darksaber is going to play into whatever this confrontation with Gideon and whatever Mandalorians there are helping him. That's where I think it's going to come into play. I got a feeling this whole creature thing, because I said it that episode when we were talking about it. You know, hey, he lost it. You know, but you know, clearly it didn't go anywhere. I don't think that's going to play into it. I think we're going to get another challenge of sorts. Din may lose it, but then maybe somebody else like Bo-Katan gets
Here's another thought.
Gideon. What's that?
Is the Darksaber moot at this point?
It could be. I mean, Mythosaur might trump Darksaber. Because it's an older story, right?
Or does it just matter who you are? Like, what you prove, what you do. Doesn't matter about this artifact or that artifact.
Right.
What can you do for Mandalore? Did it just so happen that these artifacts along the way ended up in the most capable hands?
Which makes the most sense, honestly. You know.
And then, like, looking back on it, was that the way to go anyway? Because did it end up in the most capable hands? Obviously.
Right.
Probably not.
Well, it's did Excalibur make King Arthur? Did King Arthur make Excalibur? Right? I mean,
Nice. Nice. I like that.
yeah.
Yeah. What made the legend true?
Exactly.
So the legend was there, but did it just so happen to work out?
Right.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. Well, all right. If you have anything to add, I know this is kind of abrupt, but we're running long.
Yeah.
So if you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewarsofmore.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media at The Wars of More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsofmore. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsofmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.